As the saying goes, when one door closes, another opens. And that's exactly what's happened for Bitcoin over the weekend. We're going to be talking about 3 little words that you're going to hate by the end of this video, because I'm going to say it over and over again. But these 3 letters are going to help us get a little bit more bullish on some of the top coins that we have in the top crypto market cap. Plus, I have some pretty tasty setups for you that I'm eyeing myself. But before I get there, my name is Aaron Dishner from The Better Traders, and you are watching Coin Bureau Trading. This channel is going to be bringing you tons of educational content when it comes to trading the crypto markets. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it. You're just going to want to trust me to do it now instead of later, because you're going to be razzle-dazzled, as I love to say now, with tons of information. So let me talk about the good news, because it's always better to start with the good news, right? The good news is that our previous CME Gap right here at about $85,000 was closed on Friday. Yay! That means the price fell down. The good news, though, is that because the price tanked and continued to fall over the weekend, now we have a new CME Gap at $83,800, which from the current price of BTC is up just a little over 2%. I fully expect this very local CME Gap to be closed, if not today, by the middle of this week, which gives us a nice little uptick in bullish price action. Now, have things really changed for Bitcoin to be bullish right now? Not really. Unfortunately, Bitcoin is back below the daily TBO Cloud. Volume has not increased. Even over the weekend, it actually fell. On Friday, we saw a little bit more volume, but nothing that exceeded the 30-day moving average. Now, one benefit of volume falling down a lot, really ever since the 12th of March, is that eventually we're going to see this 30-day moving average of volume catch up to the price. So that way it's going to be more realistic. But we really haven't seen positive volume that's correlated with bullish price action in a while. When we start seeing that, then you're going to see much happier thumbnails from me and a lot more smiley and like, yay, kind of posts all that. I don't know. Everyone's going to feel it. It's going to be good. Right now, we're not there. But to be honest, what I'm seeing right now, it feels like this is as bad as it's going to get. I don't really expect Bitcoin to continue tumbling and falling down further and further, even though we have support down here, another 6.8% lower at 76K. I don't really see a reason for Bitcoin to fall down that far. I'm also really pleased that on Sunday, the price just stopped dumping. And I say that because we've seen some really terrible weekend dumps, like back over here on March 9th. This was a terrible, terrible drop. When we have these weekend drops, it does give us a CME target, which is bullish for price, and we did see that happen. But really, there aren't any other catalysts, bearish catalysts, I should say, that should dump the price of Bitcoin lower. Now, there was news about this April 2nd tariff date, but I think last week or the week before, that decision was rescinded by the White House. So we don't really have any bearish things coming up, other than the stock market just completely losing it. Now, truth be told, I've been letting people know about this for a while. If you follow my updates on the Coin Bureau Discord server, the link for that is down in the description below, or on my posts on X. Again, it's like right there. But we're kind of fighting a little bit of a losing battle right now in terms of bullish price action. It's not just the fact that Bitcoin is below the cloud. It's not just the fact that we have these lower CME gaps, but the reality is that the entire stock market is bleeding pretty bad. Bitcoin will follow the stock market, more or less. And if Bitcoin follows the stock market, and exactly like I told you in last week's video, when we were about here on Tuesday or Wednesday, I said, if Bitcoin falls, 5%, expect charts to fall anywhere between 10 to 15%, maybe even more. What happened over the weekend? Exactly that. So again, I'm trying to give you guys actionable tips and advice to help save you some money, but also to help you stay aware of what's happening. Now, Ethereum is one of the worst decisions I think I've ever made in my entire life. I really wish I could take back the video I made about Ethereum. I really wish I didn't buy Ethereum. But the reality is that we continue making new CME gaps. I told you you're going to hate this CME, these 3 letters, by the end of this video. When we have these CME gaps, it does give us a price target. So in a quote unquote bullish outcome, we could see and we should see Ethereum close this CME gap that's only about 3% away. It's a pretty easy target to hit. People will get excited saying, oh, yay, the CME gap got closed. It really doesn't matter because when we look at the regular chart for Ethereum on Binance, the price is below the daily TBO cloud. This is an insanely spread out and thick cloud, which means that this is extremely strong bearish. There's nothing bullish about Ethereum right now. You can paint it any color you want. It still looks like a big fat steaming pile of doo-doo. Now, one thing that is positive about what Ethereum did, we got this low here on March 11th. We can see that over the weekend, Ethereum continued to fall lower, but it did not meet or exceed this low on March 11th. That's actually a positive sign. If we look at RSI, unfortunately, we broke support, but we didn't make a newer low on RSI. On-balance volume continues to trend down. Regular old volume looks bad. It matches the sentiment of the price. But we have a little glimmer of hope at this little itty-bitty CME gap at 1868. Do I think that the bottom is in for Ethereum? Not anymore. I think Ethereum could actually fall a lot further. There are some let me say it this way. There's a small chance that the end is near for Ethereum. And the reason I say that is because of 2 things. One, statistically, we are due for a pump on Ethereum. Is there any good news coming? No. Is there any real reason for Ethereum to pump? No, there isn't. But the only things that I'm really looking at are on the chart. For one, our moving average right here. It's been, how many weeks is this now? We're going on 8 weeks, 2 months of Ethereum not touching this fast line. It could continue for a lot longer. The last time this happened, it took about 10 weeks for the price of Ethereum to chug sideways until it finally touched it. This is going to be our first touch point. The current price of this weekly TBO fast line is a staggering 25.57. That is a massive increase of almost 40% from our current price. Do not bet your life savings that this is going to happen this week. But statistically speaking, we are due for a bullish pullback to hit this level. The other thing that we're looking at, or I'm looking at that I'm going, okay, we're coming up due. Even though weekly RSI fell below 25, which is actually an extremely bearish signal, we saw that last week's candle, the one that just closed, did not meet or exceed the close from March 10th. This is actually a really good sign. It shows that we shouldn't continue to dump. So because we're seeing a slightly higher low on weekly RSI, my guess is that Ethereum will close probably here like 1957, 1950 this week, something like that. I do think that the worst is over, but it could always go lower. There's nothing bullish happening with Ethereum whatsoever. Solana unfortunately broke its support line. This was the one I was so excited about and I was getting very optimistic. Joke's on me. Even though the price of Solana broke above overhead resistance right here, it did have 3 days above, but unfortunately on Friday, it broke it, kept falling on Saturday. Sunday stabilized, and today it's slowly turning green. Now, I'm hesitant about moving this out like this, although I'm sure that a lot of other traders will. But because the price right here struggled, or not struggled, but rather respected this line of resistance right here with this wick, with this close, with this wick, I'm kind of expecting Solana to go about to 129 and probably stop there, but eventually it will break above it this week. Again, our first target for the price moving up higher is about 133, which is the TBO fast line. That makes a lot of sense. Doing the same exercises as we did with Bitcoin and Ethereum. The thing about Solana is that Solana is actually the stronger looking chart right now, especially compared to Ethereum. Anything looks stronger than Ethereum. But look at daily RSI. While it did have a pretty significant pullback, we didn't see We didn't see daily RSI meet or exceed this low set on March 10th. It's a good sign. We're seeing a very bullish on-balance volume, much better looking than Bitcoin's, way better looking than Ethereum. So Solana is actually looking the most bullish right now out of the majors, in my opinion. Looking at volume, it's still piss poor. It's really bad. I do expect Solana to pick up. And one thing that I'm thinking about, and I'm looking at this chart going, I think this one has a better chance than the others of recovering faster. It's because we saw a pretty nice increase from Sunday to Monday and then Tuesday. Monday was actually a really good day. These 2 days moving up 11% with a decent amount of volume, not exceeding the 30-day moving average, but is pretty decent. So I'm expecting Solana to move up higher. And I totally forgot that CME futures started or launched is a better way to say it, their perpetual futures chart for Solana. And lo and behold, we had a CME Gap at $129. If I had realized this and checked before, I would have let you guys know. Sorry, this totally slipped past my radar. Now, there is a CME Gap at 128.60. So from the current price up to 128.60, it's not that far. It's literally, I have to zoom in actually on the 4 hour. It's a little bit better. 128.60 is nothing. It's right here. It's literally a 2% increase. It does not put the price above overhead resistance. And see this on the 4 hour. This is why I have a hard time moving out that line of resistance, or this line rather. Look at all of these touches and these bounces back into it. This tells me that the price is still respecting this level. So I expect the price of Solana to test it. Maybe it will push above, but I don't think this line is done just yet. Going to the weekly time frame, a couple of things that are important to look at for Solana. Volume, of course, has been well below average ever since the week of March 3rd. On balance volume, the blue jagged line is well below the moving average, which is now curling down. But we haven't seen weekly RSI go below 25, which is good. It keeps going lower, which is not a good feeling, to be honest, but at least it's not that bad. And again, we have this concept of being statistically in favor of the price of Solana going up to reach our TBO fast line. The chances of this happening ahead of Ethereum, in my opinion, is so much greater. I am not expecting Ethereum to outperform Solana or anything else anytime soon. So with this little itty bitty overhead resistance line and the hope of this CME Gap that's new for Solana, I do think that Solana will be pushing up higher. Because this had a pretty good beginning of the week, last week, I actually expect it to kind of echo that same sentiment. Maybe not go as high, but I do expect Solana to do well this week. Much better than Ethereum, maybe even better than Bitcoin, to be honest. Now, I have more charts that I want to share here, but the problem is that I can't get past the fact that a lot of you are trading on exchanges that you're probably having to give up your credentials for. You have to fill out a KYC. You're limited in how much funds you can take out. And I actually have a couple of solutions for you over here. So in the description of the video below, there's actually 3 different exchange links down here. And when you use these links to sign up for CoinCatch, 2Bit, or Bybit, you get bonuses. Now, the bonuses only happen when you follow all the instructions. So for example, if you don't want to fill out a KYC form and withdraw up to 50K a day, that would be CoinCatch. This is one that I'm actually using and doing okay with. I'm enjoying it. So you do get bonuses when you deposit stuff. You do get bonuses when you generate a lot of volume, which is good. But again, the best thing about this is that you don't have to give up your ID. You don't have to give up your credentials. And these guys are registered in the United States and in Canada as a legit exchange. So it's not like they're flying under the radar. No, they're doing this by the book, which is good. Now, there are actually way more deals here. If you go to the Coin Bureau website and you click on this link that says deals, and it brings you to the Coin Bureau website, brings you to this page. So the first thing here is the Coin Bureau Club. This is their private Discord server. They have a lot of information. Dan, the other host of Coin Bureau Trading, posts a ton of content on there. People are extremely active on the server, sharing ideas, sharing outlooks, different ideas, different charts to check out. And of course, there are other exchanges, other tools that you can check out. But even better than that, there's actually a 10% discount for people just like you, that are part of the Coin Bureau trading crew. So when you click on this, you're going to be brought to the Better Traders website. I'm sorry, this is now I think this is what is it? Oh, it's a little bit ad. Okay, they changed it. I didn't know they changed it. That's a little bit embarrassing. Okay, when you click the Buy Now button, though, we're going to go to the Better Traders website. This is my website. That's me smiling, same pose. I need to get new pictures sometime soon. But all you have to do is click the button Shop Now, and the 10% discount is automatically applied. The coach comes with one-to-one coaching. It comes with active and passive trading strategies. You get lifetime access. You don't have to pay monthly access. You don't have to pay a renewal fee, any of that garbage. And you also get a trial of the TBO indicator, okay? Ridiculously powerful and extensive course, perfect for people that are new and are intermediate crypto traders, I would say. So let's go back over here because I want to share something really interesting in regards to where I see the market moving. Despite Bitcoin being a huge pain and things just not feeling that great right now, I get a huge sense that the market is just done being bearish. And when I read through the comments that you guys share in all these videos, which are fantastic, and I love just scrolling through them, I try to reply to as many as I can. I like the fact that a lot of you agree with me, that a lot of you are bullish. And I really do get a sense that the market is generally bullish. It's just we keep getting these rocks thrown at us and we keep getting all of these basically walls put in front of us. We can't go up any higher. But I want to share with you two different concepts that are really going to help you out moving forward. These are not related, and I'm kind of doing a two for one, okay? The first one is Tron. Now, I am personally not a big advocate of Justin Sun. I've been in crypto since 2017. I am very familiar with Justin Sun. I'm very familiar with Tron. Yes, I'm very familiar with the fact that Tron pumped up almost 100% in a day. I get it. And I know this is Kraken. It doesn't really matter the exchange right now for what I'm showing you because I'm using this chart on purpose because I want the most price action, or rather the most history when it comes to looking at Tron. And this chart goes back a long way, okay? Now, one thing you have to know about TRX, aside from Justin Sun, is that TRX is one of the least volatile crypto charts. Dare I say, it's almost like a stable coin. Now, I don't mean any offense to anyone that loves Tron. I'm just telling you how it is. When I look at the price action here of Tron since February 5th, we'll say even since the dump that we saw on the 3rd, up until now, it's actually up 4%. How many other charts do you know since February 3rd are up 4% from the big dump? Everything is down like 40, 50, 60% from the dump, right? Tron has this uncanny ability to basically tread water when the whole market is dumping. But there's a caveat to this. Tron also will just it'll basically just act like a crab and do absolutely nothing in a ridiculously tight range. This is a generous range of 13%. I've seen it just operate in like a 5% range for 2 months, doing nothing. So that's why I lovingly joke that Tron is basically a stable coin. The other thing though about Tron is that when the market is starting to look bearish, I am not advocating that Tron is a store of value in that it's okay, you want to offload your entire portfolio into Tron so that way you don't have any bad vibes in your portfolio. No, stablecoins are the way to go. But what I've noticed is that Tron sometimes is asymmetrically correlated to whatever the price of Bitcoin in the market does. For example, we can see here on the daily time frame, this is Wednesday and Thursday, and then notice these are 1.83% moves, 1.48% move. Cumulative, Wednesday to Thursday, up 3.5%. Stock traders would be happy, right? This is nothing though. The thing that gets me about TRX is that when the market dumps like it did on Friday, this move right here, 2.47%. It actually dumped less than Bitcoin did on Friday. And then, of course, a lot of other charts, a lot of other coins. Saturday, it actually pumped a little bit. Sunday, it fell down. And then guess what? So from Friday to now, it's only down 1%. Again, very different than most of the charts out there. That's part of what I want to share with you in regards to this chart. The second part is this orange dot right here. So the TBO indicator is this big cloud mass. It's really similar to how the Ichimoku cloud works, in that we have a mass, and when the price is above the mass, it's strong bullish. When it's below, it's strong bearish. But there are lots of other things that the TBO does well. For instance, it automatically draws resistance and support levels. It also shows when the trend is strong, when there are breakouts, and when there are reversals. So one reversal symbol right here, this orange dot, this is TBO close short. If you've been watching my videos for any amount of time, you should know this, but I don't mind filling in the gaps for those that are new. The TBO close short lets us know that the open short position could be coming to a trend change soon, meaning that we were short, we could be changing it to an open long, meaning the price could be going up. So if you're in a short position, consider taking out some profits, or at least protecting your position with a stop loss, all that stuff. But that's what this symbol really does. The interesting thing is that when we see Tron, like for instance, back here in June 2024, when we see Tron print these TBO close shorts and start to increase like this, up 43%, during this period, it was actually exceptionally bearish. If I go over here and I add BTC to a new price scale, during this period, when we saw these TBO close shorts print, starting on June 10th, Bitcoin was at approximately 68K or so. And from this point, it fell from 68K all the way down to 56K. And during this entire time, now let me remove this so you can see it a lot clearer. During this entire time, we actually saw the price of Tron go up while the price of Bitcoin and everything else go down. There is a really strange inverse correlation to Tron's price action and Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin is dumping, Tron tends to pump a little bit, but it does so much better than holding Bitcoin. What's more interesting is that this move, this bearish dump that happened, was preceded by TBO close shorts on the daily. Now, this is only helpful if you have access to the TBO indicator. And with the course, 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom, that's linked down below, you get a 1-month trial of the indicator. So you can check this out to see. But it's weird that this is exactly what happened in June. And now we're seeing another one of these. Now, if we're going to continue to see more of these closed shorts, I'm going to be paying a lot more attention. I'll let you know. But that's not necessarily spelling out good vibes for crypto. But I wanted to give you a little bit of a tip here with Tron and something interesting I've noticed about this. Now, these last three charts, again, I'm told you twofer. These last three charts are not related to Tron. They're not really related to what's happening with Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana. But because we've seen a decent-sized mini recovery last week for alts that got a lot of people excited. You saw the vibe shift, right? Everyone is starting to get really bullish, and then everything fell. Pay attention to charts that were doing well and have retraced back to support. For instance, Polygon, which used to be Matic. This one saw insane volume. This volume was well over 2 times this yellow moving average. Even on Saturday, way over. Yes, I know that this is correlated to selling, but not all of it. Look, if we take away the TBO for just a second, we can see the biggest push of volume right here was on this little pump that happened for 7 or 8%. More volume here, volume on the dump, volume on the dump. I wouldn't necessarily call this a pump and dump, but the main thing is that when we see volume outperforming the moving average like that, after it hasn't in such a long time, you better be paying attention to that because volume shows interest and demand. Now, with that in mind, the price of Pol fell right here to TBO support, this green dotted line. Just so you know, this is an extremely weak TBO support line because it's extremely new. If it was like going on for 2 months, then yes, this would be a much more bullish entry, but this could be an interesting entry. Now, I want to help some of you out that are new to this. If you were to enter right here for Pol, I'm going to tell you now that you would be very sorely mistaken if you're going to try to take profit at the very tippy top of this wick here on Wednesday, March 26th at about 24.55 or 24.71 or so, mainly because if it did it before, it's less likely to do it again. The trend on this chart is down. It's a very bearish chart. For the same purpose of an example, right? We saw this move up here going up from support, and it moved up about 10%. If you entered here hoping that you would get to that same exact level, nope, you only got like 4%. Then the price goes against us and you get one more chance to exit, then it falls lower. So all this to say, if you're going to look at an entry for pull, I would strongly suggest that you consider not selling at the tip top. That's greedy. Right here, the reason why I love using the TBO is that we have this pink line right there. That thick pink line is at 22.03. This is the TBO fast line. This is the first touch point. So from the current price of pull up here, it's only about 8%. It's not a bad little trade, especially given the fact that this is very oversold in a very fast amount of time. It could and most likely will continue to chop sideways, but because we saw a big increase in volume towards the middle of last week, I would not be surprised to see pull shoot up between like 8 and 10%. Now, if you want to set higher targets, go for it. But you would be foolish if you didn't take partial profit here or split targets here. And that's what I do every single time with all trading. ENA is in a very similar spot. Now, volume did not exceed the moving average, but volume had a pretty nice uptick on Monday. If we look at just the chart alone, we can see that the price has actually been, let me hide these fibs. There we go. You see the price has actually been bouncing and dancing around this support level here at about 36 cents. Over and over again, we see a bounce here of 32%, returns back to it. And the next one is only 10%. The next one is a little bit more, 23%, but note that we don't see the same exact pop. This one got lucky. So if you're looking at ENA, it's at support. I wouldn't look to sell it here or even here. I would look to be just very, very conservative, like 8%, maybe here like 15%. Those are still really good returns on a trade. Last but not least, move. Now, charts like this are extremely interesting to me. Charts that have these single one-day pump and dumps. I actually gravitate more towards these. This is how I grew my trading portfolio in crypto by A/B trading. Again, I teach that in the 15 minutes course. But essentially looking for charts that have pumped, waiting for them to fall back down, and looking for a follow-up pump. Not to the same degree. 44%, probably not going to strike twice. But seeing some sort of a move from support, given the fact that there was a nice push of volume here, and this is a fairly long TBO support line in place for a little bit over a month, seems like a nice little setup. A lot of this is hinged on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does start to reverse from here and it closes the CME gap that isn't too far away and starts to head back up here, well, yeah, we're going to see a nice recovery all around. But if Bitcoin starts to get weaker, consider watching Tron. If Bitcoin starts dumping and Tron starts pumping, now you know why. It's a nice little trick for you guys. So there's a lot to be cautiously optimistic about. I fully believe that all the low caps, all the others market cap coins, they're done. Like they're tired of dumping. They've already dumped so far. There has not been a real market bounce. We were teased with a market bounce last week, and then it got slapped in the face towards the end of the week. I think that there's still a good chance that we're going to see alts pick up that lost momentum this week. But if Bitcoin can stabilize or slowly start moving up higher, that will give way more confidence to low caps, mid caps, all those fun charts that I shared before to do extremely well and to bounce. But I said it before and it's worth saying again, consider taking profits on the way up. It's not such a bad idea, is it? Especially if you entered a long trade before the market dumped, or even at the beginning of the week, and you had a position up like 15, 20%. Some of them did. Some of them went actually a lot higher. But if you don't take profits on the way up, then you're basically giving away all your profits when the price goes back down. Learning how to be satisfied with any amount of profit is a gift. And I know a lot of you watching this video are probably laughing at me because you're holding out for that next 100x gem. Good for you. You do you, boo-boo. For me, I'm going to be taking profits on the way up because that's how I become a better trader. That's how I continue to grow my account. And that's what I teach in our courses. And it works really well for a lot of people in a hyper volatile market like crypto. So I do expect Bitcoin to recover. I don't foresee Bitcoin falling more this week. But just because I don't think we're going to be falling lower right now, it doesn't mean that we're out of the woods yet. Which is why it's a great idea. Just take a little bit of profit when any chart starts to be showing bullish signs and moving up higher. I know this is a longer video, and I'm actually curious for all of you that are watching all the way here towards the very end. Let me know if you like longer videos like this, deeper dives. I think a lot of you like the shorter videos because you have a little bit of a short attention span. Squirrel! So I understand. I get it. It's fine. This is the attention economy right now. It's okay. But if you'd like longer videos like this, let me know. Leave a comment down below. And if not, you'd rather I cap it at like 15 minutes, I can do my best to do that as well. So until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.